Howdy, Possum Patty here. It's May 13th and I'm nature journaling. I'm heading back to the clearing to do a little mapping. I'm just stopping here to look at my horsetails. And I think I need to begin my mapping right here. So here's how I would read my map. I would follow the dirt track to the clearing and go between the wood pile and a stand of blueberry bushes and summer sweets. I follow the pink arrow past the rock with the horsetails and moss on it, across from the large fiddleheads that are growing next to the blueberry bush, and back behind the rock are the sensitive ferns and the little wet area with the sedges, and that's where I saw the frog. From that area, I'd walk past that large sedge on the left-hand side between the two birch trees and out into a little clearing that's full of fiddleheads, and there'd be a stump to my right, and near that stump would be a smaller piece of wood with a lot of lichen on it. And on the left-hand side would be a stump with some wildflowers that were growing, and last year's stalks would still be there. Off to the right of the wildflowers is where I saw a spring azure butterfly. And across from them, on the right-hand side, is where I found the beech tree with the really large buds that were growing, and the unidentified vine growing up over it. And behind that beech tree, there's a whole stand of more blueberry bushes. So this is what my map looked like when I came in from the clearing. It's kind of a mess, but I just kind of jotted down the things as I walked along. Now I am taking a micron pen and going over a little bit. I started with putting where the dirt track was into the clearing, and I noted the wood pile on one side and the summer sweet and blueberry bushes on the other side, because where I walked from was right about here. And I think I'm going to put my metadata in the corner here. It is May 13th, 2020, and I am mapping. Okay, so the first thing I saw here was this is off a little bit, so I'm going to make it up as I go along here. There was a rock here, and there was a horsetail. And behind that were the sensitive ferns. This is last year's stalk. Fertile stalk. And they were just unfolding. And more horsetails behind the rock. And then on this side was some of these tall fiddleheads. It says there was a blueberry here. And just put some leaves. And maybe a couple little flowers. Another horsetail for good measure. And right behind that, back here was a little wet area. Some green sedges coming up. And I'm going to note this is the wood pile here. And summer sweet and blueberries on that side. Okay, then there was a large sedge on the side here, nice and green. And then there was a birch tree on each side. Put it behind the blueberry. Now, where the blueberry has little clumps of leaves, the birch tree just had single leaves. Okay, I'm going to label these birch, B-I-R-C-H. And let's see, large sedge and wet area. And I saw a frog here the other day. And these are more sedges here. And here are the horsetails. Cat just jumped in my lap. Tails. Sensitive. Ferns. Rock. Okay, then you walk between the two birch trees. And back here is an old stump. And some fiddleheads. And next to the stump is another one with lichens, little powder horn lichens. Now I'm not being realistic. I'm being representational here. So these sketches are just representing things. And then back here is the little beech tree. With the really big buds. And the buds were smaller. The further down you go, the smaller the buds were. It had a little bit of a gray trunk. And let's see, beech tree with really big buds. And then there was a vine. It was growing on both sides. So there was a stump on this side. And let's see, next to the stump, there were some flowers. And I think this one was a goldenrod. And a blue azure butterfly. So let's put that in there. All right, let's see, where are we gonna put the vine? Goldenrod, last year's stalk, stump, okay, stand of blueberry bushes this way. I'm going to put an arrow and put stand of blueberries back there, and maybe I'll put the vine here going around. Now this vine didn't wrap itself around the tree, it wrapped its tentacles around the tree. So it's a different kind of a vine, one that grows with tentacles. So each node there was a bud and a tentacle. Okay, we have some fiddleheads here. And lichens. We have a stump. And let's see, looks like there's more blueberries over here. So maybe I'll just put a branch. And the leaves were kind of like in clusters. Put little blueberry flowers. More blueberries. And the trail kind of goes this way. Let's put some directional arrows. One that way. put a big one there. And let's put one there. Okay, that's my little trail. Now I'm going to give it a second and let the ink dry just for a second. And I'm going to erase all the pencil marks and see how it looks, and then I'm going to add my watercolors. So I finished inking up my page with the Micron pen, and then I got out my watercolors and I just made the page colorful. I added a little wren because that's news of the day today. The wren is home, I put over here. And because the pictures are all representational and not realistic, I just made a representational wren over there. Added some metadata in the corner. And basically that's it for today. Just a quick little mapping page so I can remember where I went and all the things that I saw on this part of the property. Thanks for coming along today. Bye-bye.